students, and welcome to Unit 3 of the course. I can't believe that we are flying by. Yeah, we have Unit 3 and then it's spring break. So you guys will have a nice break up until March 25th once you finish this unit. So congratulations. Um, Sorry about the delay in posting the video. If you're from the Buffalo area, you experienced the winds that we had Sunday into Monday, and I did not have power or heat until later on last night. So thank you for your patience in waiting for this video. To talk a little bit about Unit 1. There were a lot of great things. I really enjoyed how a lot of students, went through the material, especially the Brene Brown video, and really reflected on a lot of, what was really within Unit 1. It really showed through in a lot of the unit assignments. However, unfortunately, there were a number of assignments that were rather brief. If you watched the welcome video, I did mention that Unit 1 is usually when I can tell when students haven't watched the welcome video. And this was really apparent in one of the first questions in Unit 1, where it was, what were you expecting to get out of this course, and what were your goals for the course? And a number of people did mention that they were looking to be able to communicate better with others, or have some techniques in understanding others and working with others and seeing what a real counseling session might look like. And I want to reiterate again that this is not material that we're going to cover in this course. And I did make a note on a number of assignments saying, if you hadn't had the chance to watch the welcome video, I would really ask for you to do that, please. But to the students who did watch the welcome video and really put some time and effort into their assignments, I very much thank you. And I do want to note again, which is something that I also noted in the welcome video, that if you're really looking for full credit in the unit assignments, you really have to put some insight and detail into your responses. So I know a lot of the questions don't really ask for a lot of information specifically, but if you can elaborate on your responses for the sake of providing insight and detail, and then we can get you some full credit points. When I was creating the assignments for this course, I was trying to do so in a way that I phrased the questions in the unit assignments so that it would indicate that there should be quite a bit of a response to it, such as asking why, but sometimes in the unit assignments, just to really get your point across, you kind of have to keep it short and sweet. But yes, please provide insight and detail and a substantial response to each of the questions, and you'll do great. But other than that, things were really great in Unit 1. You did just submit Unit 2, and there was a lot of stuff this unit. I know that sometimes the discussion boards can be a little timely as opposed to the quizzes, depending on if you read the material before or during the quizzes. But I will have this graded and back to you by the end of Unit 3, which would be March 10th. And I do like to note again, in the semester, sometimes at the end of the semester, some of the feedback students give is that they wish that they got their assignments back sooner. I have 70 students, so sometimes I have to kind of delegate time here and there, given that I do work a full-time job and have other teaching positions. But I try to dedicate a little bit of time each night to grading things, so I thank you for your patience. Sometimes it takes me the full 2 weeks. But I know that myself as a student, I was always eager to get my grades back, so I completely understand, but thank you for bearing with me. So for Unit 3, let's see here. You will read Helkowski chapters 4 and 11. These readings tend to be pretty brief if you haven't noticed already. There's a short video on the art of rehabilitation counseling. There's also another TED Talk by Eleanor Longden, and this is titled The Voices in My Head. And this is a really good video, as it is actually told by a woman who is diagnosed with schizophrenia, and she talks about her struggles and what her experience was like receiving mental health treatment. Um, so it's a great video to hear it from someone that is experiencing it firsthand. And the reason why I put these TED Talks in here is because, or even just like the YouTube videos, is that I want to introduce you to scenarios that you might be introduced to in counseling. So while we don't go through techniques or anything, I do like to give you a little bit of insight into the types of clients or the kinds of situations that you might experience in the counseling profession. So I think that those are really important to put in here. And then for your reading material, you do have 3 different articles to read this week, and you will complete the Unit 3 assignment as well as quiz number 2. And by looking at the tracking calendar, you'll see that this week we are going to be covering rehabilitations and career counselors. And the reason why I put rehabilitation and career counselors together is because some of the duties kind of overlap. So you have career counselors who are responsible for helping individuals, find jobs that are suitable for them. This could mean that, they're doing assessments with you, such as the self-directed search, and finding different areas that might interest you, and kind of linking you up and showing you what your assessment results mean as far as a job that's going to be good for you. Rehabilitation counselors do the same thing in some areas, but this is generally when there is an individual who has been injured on the job, and their injury has prevented them from being able to go back to that area of work. So they have to find or explore different career options. And so the rehabilitation counselor would also give assessments and seeing what other interests they might have and try to match them with a more suitable job that will be able to accommodate their needs after their injury. And while rehabilitation counselors are generally known for this, this is not the only area of expertise that they can work in. I myself am a certified rehabilitation counselor, and I have experience in mental health counseling, addictions, Access VR and the vocational stuff. And so I've been able to do a number of different things in a number of different areas with my CRC. So I know that some students expressed interest in rehabilitation counseling. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. UB does have a rehabilitation counseling master's program. So if you have any questions of wanting interest about any of that, please let me know. So after Unit 3, you guys will be on spring break. And let's see here. So some things I would like for you to note moving forward. First and foremost, I know that I've mentioned this a couple of times, you do have your interview of a professional at the end of the semester. Please make sure you are kind of looking around in course material or the tracking calendar or the syllabus and identifying a counselor in the profession that you would be most interested in, and also kind of going around shooting emails, making phone calls to see if there is someone that you can interview for this assignment. And then your advocacy paper is going to be coming up. Let's see, that is going to be due by April 7th. So you still have a little bit of time for that, but if you haven't already, please go into the discussion board and post the topic that was due in Unit 2. So if you haven't done that yet, please do. I have been tracking and going through and seeing who is posting their topics of interest. And if I don't say anything, that means you're pretty good. But just make sure you double check before you start working on your advocacy paper, because there is a couple of students that I wanted to note and to pinpoint some things to make sure that it's not very general and that they have one particular population in mind. And with this assignment, what you are going to do, you're going to go into the papers and projects folder. There's an outline in there, and you're going to do a little bit of literature review about this population and why it's vulnerable and why it needs advocating for. And what I want to explicitly state is that you want to make sure that you are actually discussing an advocacy plan. So what exactly you are going to be doing, in the community, or what you're going to be doing for this population to raise awareness and really advocate for this population. But we'll get to that a little bit later. But yeah, if you have a head start and you're kind of bored over spring break, feel free to start this. Let's see. I think I think that's really it. Unit 4 is my absolute favorite unit. And this is about, so the counseling careers we'll cover in this is child and adolescent counselors, marriage, couples, and family counselors. And we start talking about the adverse childhood experiences study, which is something that I'm very, very passionate about. And from the last semester when I taught this course, the other students really seemed to favor this unit among the others. So I think that's really it for this week. So again, as usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. But other than that, I will post another video probably not until March 25th. Just because there's not another unit. There's spring break. So if I don't talk to you, have a safe and fun spring break, and I will see you when you get back. Thanks.